everybody! Welcome back to day 2 of our article on Karlovy Vary, and we are for English for You. I'm Kat.
I'm Chickling.
And we're gonna talk more about the tourist attractions, things you can see in this beautiful little town in the Czech Republic. So we learned a little bit about the history of the town yesterday. We learned that it was started by a king in the 1300s, right?
查理十世.
Charles IV. Yep. So he learned, or he believed, that the waters had healing powers. They can make you stop being sick, I guess. Yeah.
Take away your sickness.
Yeah.
Gives you happiness.
Yeah.
And only the rich and famous people go there.
Well, that used to be the case. I think almost anybody could go there now, probably.
Okay, but it was successful, but then it fell down. And why did it fall?
Well, their tourist industry took a big hit because of World Wars I and II, and a lot of that was fought in Czechia. Yeah. So, but now I guess it's doing a lot better. So, which is probably why we're talking about it today. Yeah. So we're going to learn about the town this time, and we are going to get right into our article, and you can learn along with us.
Reading.
Turn back the clock in historic Karlovy Vary. The problem with Karlovy Vary isn't knowing what to do, it's knowing where to begin. The city is filled with history, culture, and beautiful architecture. Take the town's colonnades, for example. These grand structures were built between the late 19th and early 20th centuries to house some of the town's hot springs. Most of them aren't for bathing. However, many people believe that drinking the water does wonders for your health. Once you've gotten rid of your thirst, it's time for some nature. Take a tourist train or a hiking trail up the hills behind the town, and you'll find Diana. This tower offers breathtaking views of Karlovy Vary, especially in the winter when the town is often blanketed with snow. If winter is when Karlovy Vary is most romantic, summer is when it really comes alive. Every July, the town hosts the Karlovy Vary Film Festival, which presents about 200 films from around the world. If you can't make it, though, don't worry. The festival may only last a week, but Karlovy Vary's charm never goes away.
All right, our article today starts off with a big, bold statement. The problem with Karlovy Vary isn't knowing what to do, it's knowing where to begin. So basically, you're not going to be bored, but you might not know where to start. Tell us more about it, Chicolene.
好，那我们来看一下今天的英文练功坊哦。疑问词加上 to be 当名词片语。那我们疑问词有哪些呢？ When, what, which, where, who, how 等这些字呢，引导的名词子句其实可以简化成疑问词加上 to be 当名词片语用，作为动词的受词。我们直接看一下例句，其实就会很清楚了。就是一个疑问词加上主词加上 can, should 或者是 could， 再加上一个动词，就是等于疑问词加上 to be。我们直接看句子吧。So the first one, Daniel doesn't know what he should have for dinner. 那其实我们就可以改写成 Daniel doesn't know what to have for dinner.Or Deborah is telling her friend how he can get to the airport. 那我们就可以改写成 Deborah is telling her friend how to get to the airport.
Okay, so where are we going to start with Karlovy Vary? That's a good question because the article says the city is filled with history, culture, and beautiful architecture. Ooh, sounds very nice.
So this vocabulary word here, architecture.
Architecture.
它就是像一个建筑风格、建筑的意思。
So beautiful buildings, probably. They probably have very, very nice styles, especially because rich and famous people used to go there. So they would have the best looking buildings. Okay, now if we say something is filled with or to be filled with something, it means you have a lot of something. So much that you almost can't go anywhere without seeing it. So like if you know, Karlovy Vary is full of these things, it means that you're not going to be able to go anywhere without seeing architecture and culture and that sort of thing. You could also say be full of. That's the same meaning.
Like the room is filled with the fragrance of your perfume.
Oh, I'm not wearing perfume.
Maybe mine.
Maybe your perfume. Yeah, so filled with, a really nice smell. That kind of thing. All right, another vocab word that we have here is culture. So you probably have heard the word culture before. It's a noun. It talks about a very big idea. It's basically the way people in a certain area or from a certain generation live. Their food, their language, how they behave, how they dress, the art and music and writing that they make, and so on and so on. So like it's all things that are unique to them. But saying something or somebody has a lot of culture also has a different meaning. It usually means that they create a lot of things. They have a lot of creative art, food, and traditions that are special to that place. So an example of this might be, traditional Japanese culture teaches people to appreciate beauty and a simple everyday life.
OK， 那我们看一下 culture 这一个字 ，culture 它就是文化的意思嘛。So you have, well, we can say culture shock. That is the feeling of confusion you feel when you go to another country, right? 就是文化冲击的意思嘛。譬如说 moving to New York was a huge culture shock for him. Or did you have a culture shock when you moved here?
I mean, I still have very minor culture shocks every day, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, you know, when you're raised in one place and you learn to live a certain way, and then everybody else lives a different way from you, it's hard to adjust. Like you get used to it, but still.
Okay, and culture is a noun. The adjective form is cultural. 所以我们可以说文化差异怎么讲呢？ Cultural diversity or cultural differences. 比如说 he devoted himself to many cultural activities.
That sounds like fun. Yeah, so when we're talking about what kind of architecture and culture we see in Karlovy Vary, we can think of some examples of what you can see there. So the article says, take the town's colonnades, for example. Yeah, I've seen pictures of these. They're really, really beautiful. So take, for example, here means look at this thing because it's a perfect example of what we're talking about. You don't have to literally take anything. It's just you're looking at this as an example. Yeah.
OK， 我们看到这个单词 colonnades， 它其实是列柱、柱廊的意思，所以 you can see all these kind of things in the really beautiful buildings.
Yeah, it's very grand. It's like, you know, what is it? Halls full of columns. Like if you step into it, you might think you're in a temple. Yeah. So the article goes on to talk about the colonnades. These grand structures were built between the late 19th and early 20th centuries. That's actually later than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
To house some of the town's hot springs. Okay. So they're actually created in a much older style, but they're pretty new as far as columns go.
Right. So house 这边很特别哦 ，it's used as a verb. 所以意思就是为什么提供场地去容纳。
So what do they house? They house hot springs. However, the article says most of them aren't for bathing.
哦，但是这些温泉并不是拿来泡的，不是拿来沐浴的。
Yeah.
I wonder what they're for.
Well, what it says is, however, many people believe that drinking the water does wonders for your health. So maybe it's, you know, really fresh, natural spring water. That sounds really nice, actually.
So have you drunk in like any water from any kind of river or?
Yeah, I've drank from, you know.
You dare to do so?
There was a soda spring in a town that I was in, so the water was naturally carbonated and had some minerals in it that made it taste a little bit different, but it was very fresh.
I heard it's healthier.
Yes, it was very healthy. Yeah, so if you got to be careful when you do that. You have to make sure that it's not being polluted. But if you can find a place that's not polluted, then and drink from it, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going on with the article. Once you've gotten rid of your thirst, by drinking from this hot spring, it's time for some nature!
Yay!
Woohoo, nature! So first we have to talk about get rid of. So get rid of means make something go away. So you're not thirsty anymore. You said bye-bye.
We
You're not
use this
thirsty.
phrase a lot in spoken English, 就是
Yeah.
去去除啊，摆脱一件事情。比如说 I want to get rid of my boyfriend. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so now we've talked about getting rid of. Let's find out what thirst means. All right, we're talking about this word thirst. Thirst is a noun that is like a feeling of wanting to drink something, especially wanting some water. Usually you feel thirsty, thirsty is the adjective, if your mouth or your throat is dry, or if you ate something spicy or really salty and you just want to clear out the flavor, you might drink some water. However, if you eat spicy food, you should drink milk instead of water because water will make it worse. However, anyway, going back to this, the adjective, as I said, is thirsty. If you add a Y onto thirst, you say, I feel thirsty. However, it's also a verb. You can say that you thirst after something. That means you really, really want something. And if you have a figurative thirst, if you have a thirst for something and you don't really feel thirsty in your throat, it could mean that you really want to go after something or you have a passion for something. If you say, I have a thirst for knowledge, it means you really like to learn. You really want to keep learning and gaining new things that you know. Now, a verb for talking about thirst with water is quench. So for example, I quenched my thirst by drinking a big glass of water when I came home. That means I got rid of my thirst. I stopped feeling thirsty.
OK， 所以 thirst 这个字应该很耳熟吧，因为它就是 thirsty 来的嘛 ，thirsty 就是它的形容词。那 thirst 这边当名词是口渴的意思。那我们来看一下，我们可以说 the thirst for something 就是对什么的渴望。譬如说 the materials were designed to satisfy students' thirst for knowledge。或者是呢，我们 thirst 可以当动词嘛 ，to thirst for after something。刚刚 Kat 老师有提到哦 ，for example, a lot of people thirst for power.
Yeah,
Life.
that's true.
That's life.
True. Yeah. Anyhow, so we are talking about literal throat thirst here. So if you take a drink from these springs, you might be able to quench your thirst or get rid of your thirst. So we'll go on with the tour of Karlovy Vary by saying, take a tourist train or a hiking trail up the hills behind the town and you'll find Diana.
Diana. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, when I saw this, I thought they meant the goddess Diana. Who's
I was thinking about that
the
too.
Greek goddess of the moon. But actually, it's talking about this tower called the Diana Observation Tower. It's a big tower over Karlovy Vary that lets you see the town. So now we have a couple of vocab words in this sentence. The first one is trail. Trail here is a noun that's talking about like a small path for people to walk or bike on. Usually it's through nature, like in the hills, on the mountains. Just, it's just a little dirt road. There's no stones, there's no asphalt, no concrete. It's just dirt and like tramped down plants and you can see where it goes and walk on it. So it's a natural path. So an example sentence might be, we walked back on the mountain trail until we found our camp again.
OK， 我们看一下 trail 这一个字 ，trail 就是小路、路径，不过它可以当踪迹哦。It could also mean the series of marks or smell left by a person or animal as they move along.
Right.
所以我们就可以说 the dogs are trained to follow the trail left by the robber. Or trail can be used as a verb as well. 我们可以说to 追踪一件事情，又或者是 to trail away， 或者是 trail off. 但是渐渐停止的意思。So maybe when a person's voice trails away, and that means it becomes quieter and less confident, and then stops completely.
Yep.
So 我们就可以说 Katrina's voice trailed off as she saw the look on her boyfriend's face.
I want to get rid of you.
Oh no, I was just joking.
Yeah, she's just kidding. Okay. All right, on with the article. This tower, the Tower of Diana, offers breathtaking views of Karlovy Vary, especially in the winter when the town is often blanketed with snow. Oh, snow, I miss snow. So we're talking about breathtaking here. The view is breathtaking. And that just literally means it's so beautiful. It makes you gasp or forget to breathe. It takes your breath away.
Okay,
Yeah.
it takes your breath away, so it's breathtaking.
Yeah, right. And so we're talking about where can we see this from? A tower. And a tower is a noun, could also be a verb, but here we're using it as a noun. It's a very tall and thin building. It stands up taller than the things around it, and it's usually for being able to see around you. So, you know, the most famous tower in Taiwan is Taipei 101.
Oh, the tallest one.
Yep, and the tallest tower in the world is Burj Khalifa in Dubai. There's tons of towers around in the world. You have observation towers where basically their only reason for being there is to go up so you can see everything. There's also a ride in Disneyland called the Tower of Terror.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, where you go up in a roller coaster, the door opens so you can see out, and then you drop. Yeah.
That sounds scary.
It's pretty scary, but it's fun. All right, so as a verb, tower means standing up much taller than something else and being a little bit scary to things below. Like, if I'm a lot taller than Jacqueline, I could say I'm towering over her.
Yeah,
But I'm not that much taller than you.
I think you are.
Oh, okay. But anyway, an example could be from Coit Tower on the top of the hill, you can see all of San Francisco. Yeah, that's a really good place to visit. Yeah.
OK， 那我们直接看一下 tower 这个字，大家最熟悉的应该就是当名词塔楼的意思，但当动词就像刚刚 K 老师都有提到它就是有高高升起 to rise or extend far upward. And if somebody or something towers over others, they are a lot taller than they are. 像老师刚刚有说嘛，就是超过胜过。譬如说 She stood up and towered over her younger brother. Or 像 Kat 老师比我高，就可以说 Kat towers over Chickling.
Not true. Anyway.
Or the skyscraper towers into the clouds. 我代表哇，这个摩天大楼很高，高高升到云里面。
Yeah, there's actually clouds around the top of Taipei 101 sometimes. Yeah. All right, so the article goes on. If winter is when Karlovy Vary is most romantic, summer is when it really comes alive.
Come alive. That's a phrase I really like.
Yeah, it means it has a lot of energy, it has a lot of activity, and a lot of life around it.
所以其实这个很好理解嘛 ，alive 就是活生生的，所以代表变得很活跃，然后整个活跃起来了。So you can say the nightclubs come alive on weekends.
Right, true. Yeah. Every July, the town hosts the Karlovy Vary Film Festival. That sounds fun, which presents about 200 films from around the world. That's really cool. So we're going to learn about what it means to say they host this film festival. So when we're talking about host here is a verb that means to invite people to come for an event and have the event at your home, or in this case, in the town. So if you talk about host as a noun, that's the person or the group that does the hosting. For example, a TV host like Ellen DeGeneres, who has people on her show to talk to her and, you know, hosts a TV show every week. Or if you're a party host, you can host a party and be the party host. For example, example sentence might be, we're hosting a big party for my mother's birthday this weekend, or I'm being a party host for my mother's birthday.
好，那 host 这一个字在这边当动词是主办的意思，所以我们就可以说 to host a meeting or to host an event or a party， 可以去主持一个会议、活动、派对或者是主办。那我们再造一个句子哦 ，We were invited to a dinner party hosted by the president of this company。所以就是这个公司的总经理呢主办的。那想一下 host 这个字当名词可以当主人的意思哦，譬如说 He thanked the host for their hospitality， 他感谢主人的热情好客 ，hospitality 就是热情好客的意思。
Okay. All right. So an article says if you're talking about the Karlovy Vary Film Festival, it only happens once a year in the summer in July. If you can't make it though, don't worry. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So if we say make it here, make is not talking about making any one thing, like making it with your hands. Make it means go to an event successfully. Usually it's a casual phrase that's said by people who can't make it or they just made it, they're maybe too tired. Like it's really common to hear people say, I can't make it tonight. Or I finally made it to the party. Or if you're the host, you can say, I'm so glad you made it.
所以这个口语很常用的用法，比如说 I can't make it to make it on time， 代表
I made it to work. Write that like that. Okay, so why shouldn't we worry if we can't make it? The festival may only last a week, but Karlovy Vary's charm never goes away.
Wow, okay.
Oh, very cute. Also, right, we have this last vocab word, which is charm. Charm is a noun. That means you kind of have a power to attract things and people and make them like you, make them feel happy about you. Things have charm, people have charm, places have charm. When I think of like a charming person, I think of that Chinese phrase I really like, 开心果.
开心果.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody who's like always makes
Are you
you
talking
happy.
about pistachios or talking
No,
about...
the person.
the person, 开心果. Oh, I was thinking about the food. I'm too hungry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You can keep going.
All right, no, I'm talking about charming people. All right, so charm could also be like beauty or attractiveness. So if you have a lot of charm, maybe you're not necessarily pretty or handsome, but you might be, just able to make people really like you. So a charming town is just like that too. The adjective is charming with an ing on it. Or if you use it as a verb, you could charm somebody, which means to kind of purposely make them like you. Yeah. An example of charm, the noun, is the house had a lot of charm with its blue windows and its lovely little garden.
Okay, 那 charm 很简单，就是魅力、吸引力。So she is a woman of great charm， 代表她是很有魅力的女人。那我们有一个片语，我们一定要讲一下 to turn on the charm. So when somebody turns on the charm, that means they suddenly start to be very nice and interesting, especially in a way that is not really sincere.
Yes.
Yeah, 就是施展魅力，通常是有意图的。譬如说 Dominic certainly knows how to turn on the charm when he wants something out of you.
Oh, so he's a very, what you'd call a manipulative person.
Yes, and charming 就是很有吸引力，是一个形容词哦，大家记一下。
Okay, so yeah, that's
Pretty much
all
about it for today.
Yeah, that's all we've got for Karlovy Vary, but you've learned a lot about what you can see
This town
there.
about,
Yeah, what you can do, how the winters are, how the summers are, colonnades and hot springs and all that sort of thing. So we've learned a lot about this beautiful little town. I hope you'll get the chance to visit one day. For now, we're going to go to our For You chat and talk about it a little bit more.
For You chat. So our For You chat for today is, what part of Karlovy Vary appeals to you most? And where would you want to visit?
That's a good question. I have to say that the colonnades there and the springs inside them sound really, really cool.
You've seen pictures of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe what they look like?
Well, they're not white like a lot of colonnades are in like Greece and Rome and other places in the world. They actually are kind of more like a warm color. So I think they're painted, or the plaster used to make them is like has color in it. Yeah, and like the whole town is different colors. It's very beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks very grand and important. So I think I'd like to walk in there, and I'd also like to try some of the local food, probably. I'm a food fan. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, so I mean, there's probably a lot to see, and I'd like to see the film festival too. But you can talk about this yourself. Maybe you can do a little bit of research on the town and think about planning a vacation there. So we are going to say goodbye for now. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Turn back the clock in historic Karlovy Vary. The problem with Karlovy Vary isn't knowing what to do, it's knowing where to begin. The city is filled with history, culture, and beautiful architecture. Take the town's colonnades, for example. These grand structures were built between the late 19th and early 20th centuries to house some of the town's hot springs. Most of them aren't for bathing. However, many people believe that drinking the water does wonders for your health. Once you've gotten rid of your thirst, it's time for some nature. Take a tourist train or a hiking trail up the hills behind the town, and you'll find Diana. This tower offers breathtaking views of Karlovy Vary, especially in the winter when the town is often blanketed with snow. If winter is when Karlovy Vary is most romantic, summer is when it really comes alive. Every July, the town hosts the Karlovy Vary Film Festival, which presents about 200 films from around the world. If you can't make it, though, don't worry. The festival may only last a week, but Karlovy Vary's charm never goes away.
Vocabulary Review.
Culture. Chinese people arrived in Taiwan in the 17th century and brought their religion and culture with them. Thirst. When the city ran out of water, thousands of people died of thirst. Trail. We walked on a trail that led us through the forest and to a beautiful lake. Tower. Taipei 101 is the tallest tower in Taiwan. Host. Tokyo will host the Olympic Games in the summer of 2020. Charm. William's funny stories and personal charm made him a fun person to be with.
字汇小补帖
Architecture. Colonnade. Breathtaking.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net